Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke, together with Rev Yutaka Yamada. Today is Tuesday, the 27th of May, 2025, or the 1st of May in the 13th year of Chongalguk. So thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Chanji Champamunimge Kyombe Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가전맨세 2. 전국 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 전주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 춘신, 세계에서는 성인, 전주에서는 선자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 2. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the Heavenly Parent and True Parents. We pledge to perfect the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love.
Thank you. So for the opening prayer, I decided to do something a little different. I'm going to share with you Mother's Prayer, and this is a Mother's Prayer that she gave for the liberation of the African people on Gorée Island in Senegal on the 19th of January 2018. So I want to share Mother's Prayer as our opening prayer, and also, even though it's particular to Gorée Island and Africa, it's also very much concerns us as well. So I'll read Mother's Prayer. Heavenly Parent, how many long years have passed as you worked hard and took a sorrowful course to find your sons and daughters. We know of the history that has pained heaven many times because of humankind's ignorance. Heavenly Parent, nevertheless, you never gave up on us. Thus, you were able to find the victorious true parents for whom you had wished for so long. When all the people of the world are reborn through the true parents and can be called my son, my daughter, there will be such happiness and delight on that day. Heavenly Parent, the true parents, true mother, the only begotten daughter, has come here today. Christianity did not know your deep will or Jesus's essence, and they left a sorrowful history here in Africa and on Gorée Island. Where did Jesus's words of love your neighbor as yourself go? How could they treat people in this way because of differences in skin color? Please remember the people of Africa who have endured and waited for more than 500 sorrowful years. Beloved Heavenly Parent, today in the name of true parents, I liberate the sorrowful spirits of Gorée Island, and through a spiritual workshop conducted by Heavenly Parent, they can be resurrected as good spirits and return to earth and be with their descendants, so that Africa can become an Africa that can realize the dream of one human family centered on Heavenly Parent and become the light and lamp of the world. Let us cooperate enthusiastically to achieve a world of no more conflict, suffering, or war, one world of complete harmony and unification centered on Heavenly Parent. I liberate and proclaim this in the name of true parents, Arju. Arju. Thank you, and like to welcome Reverend Yutaka to share with us this morning, if everything is going okay in Solomon Islands. I know. Let's see.
Can you see? Is that my connection is okay?
So far, okay.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Maybe a little bit
We can,
delay.
yeah.
Eh, Okay. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today. We arrived in Solomon Island yesterday. This Wi-Fi connection is actually really not good. I'm worried it will be disconnected. If disconnected, please Reverend John handle after that. I will try. Okay, so thank you very much. Today is the 60th day of All True Things and 72nd anniversary of the foundation day of the Unification Church. So I believe each nation, each center are preparing to organize this holiday celebration. So each holiday have a special meaning. So please attend well and to celebrate this holiday celebration moment and to have a new determination. So thank you. And originally I'd like to share the photo, but now lack of connection. I will share later, maybe next day. Okay. And today Tuesday, so we'll have a breakout session also. So please join after Fundok. So okay, so let's start our Fundok day. The value of true parents in heaven's providence. And today we will start the new chapter, the chapter 3, the essence of Jesus and Christian history. So let's start. Okay, Mrs. Na, please.
The history of the providence of restoration, seeking the true parents of heaven's lineage. 1. The foundation to send the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter. Both Heavenly Parent and Heavenly Parent's providence are absolute, unique, unchanging, and eternal. In the beginning, Heavenly Parent had a dream. That dream was to give birth to all of humankind as sons and daughters, whom Heavenly Parent could love completely, and to realize a world where they and Heavenly Parent could share limitless love and experience eternal joy and happiness together.
Yes. Thank you. Both Heavenly Parent and Heavenly Parent's providence are absolute, unique, unchanging, and eternal. In the beginning, Heavenly Parent had a dream. So we knew this dream of Heavenly Parent. And dream was not only there in the beginning of the history. This dream would be continued until fulfilled during the history of humanity. So in the beginning of the history, even current and even in the future, until fulfillment of God's dream or Heavenly Parent dream, Heavenly Parent will be guiding the providence. Please.
If the first ancestors of humankind, created in the beginning, had become true parents who achieved complete oneness in heart with Heavenly Parent, that dream would have been fulfilled. However, because our first ancestors, Adam and Eve, fell after failing to keep the commandment, do not eat, that Heavenly Parent had given to help them reach perfection, the world that has developed over the course of human history is one with a fallen lineage. unrelated to the lineage of Heavenly Parent. Looks like he's frozen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Frozen.
yeah. You're moving again.
Yeah. Finish.
She finished reading, so.
Yes, thank you. So, heavenly parents tried to fulfill the dream through the first ancestor, but there was fall. So, we knew also this is sad history of the human ancestor. So, originally, all children should be born as the children of God, children of heavenly parent. But what the result? Because of the human fall, all children are born without connection with our God, Heavenly Parent's lineage. Please.
Heavenly Parent, whose beginning and end are the same, cannot just abandon fallen humankind. To restore fallen people and give them rebirth as sons and daughters of goodness who have inherited Heavenly Parent's lineage, and to establish Chununkuk, the ideal world where Heavenly Parent can personally dwell, Heavenly Parent selected Israel as the chosen people and central nation that, in accordance with Heavenly Parent's will, would carry out the providence of restoration among fallen humanity. The chosen people of Israel had the mission, as the central nation of the providence of restoration, the chosen people of Israel had the mission to attend and follow Heavenly Parent, inherit Heavenly Parent's lineage, and give birth to the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter, who were to become the true parents of humankind.
Yes, because of human fall, Heavenly Parent dream was not fulfilled at in the same time. Heavenly Parent studied the providence of least the God's children. So the establishment of this dream is unchanging. So can you see this?
Yeah, let's hope he comes back. Oh, I think he's totally dropped out now. Wow. Yeah, that's always the problem with the Solomon Islands and other island nations. The internet sometimes is good, sometimes not. I don't know if he's going to try to come back. Let's wait a minute to see if he can come back. Yeah, probably not. He did ask me to continue, but I do have something else that I got ready just in case it wasn't going to work. And I'll leave it to Rev Yutaka to catch up with the values of true parents and God's providence later. So I'll just share the screen with something else. Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it back. Okay, let me just share this one. So this is something that comes from the Pyonghwa Kyong Book 5, Absolute Values and a New World Order. So I'll just read this, and it's just part of the role of the unified science in moral orientation of the world that was given on the 26th of November 1972 in the US. So just join me as I go through this. Yeah, he's not, can't make it. All right. Okay, embodying love to resemble God. Then how can we create the spiritual reformation? For this, we must set up a standard of goodness, and to determine goodness, we must decide the center of love. This is because goodness is the practice of love. Yeah, he just texted me saying better for me to continue. His connection is too unstable. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then what can be the center of love? It must be God, who is a unique, eternal, and unchanging being existing since before the formation of the cosmos. Love is the flow of heart, that is the outpouring of deepest heart. Therefore, the essence of God is heart. This God is the unified being that is the fundamental cause of the cosmos dealt with in ontology. The formation of the cosmos by this fundamental cause is simply the creation of the cosmos by God. Then how could God create the cosmos and human beings? God could do it because God has heart. Where there is heart, life appears, and where there is life, development and creation can take place. So, sorry that Rev Yutaka is having difficulty. He says even in the hotel room, the internet is also not working. So, embodying the love of God is our way in which we can resemble God, because God is heart. The essence of God is heart. And understanding God, and especially in this new deeper understanding of the truth that we're going through with Reverend Yutaka, really we are finding the essence of God, the essence of Jesus, the essence of the only begotten daughter, and here this is really explaining why everything is the way that it is because God could do it because he has heart. Where there is heart, life appears, and where there is life, development and creation can take place. Continuing. For creation, there must always be purpose. This is because heart directs toward purpose. The purpose of creation could only be joy, which fulfills the desire of heart. This joy comes when the creation, especially humanity, comes to resemble God. God's goal of creation is to have human beings and the world of happiness, that is, the kingdom of heaven, reflecting the love and creativity of God, which relate to mind and matter respectively. We know this is true from the fact that humankind's ideal is actually to realize such people and such a world. The ideal is the world that was originally given to human beings as their home. The fact that people seek a joyful world as their ideal means a joyful world is the one God planned for them. Such a world reflects God's love and creativity and thus becomes joyful. So really understanding God's purpose is, understanding that from his heart, God only desired to have joy, and that joy is natural. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to be joy because that's how God planned it for us. That's why we seek a world that is happy and peaceful and harmonious and where everything is safe. Such a world reflects God's love and creativity and thus becomes joyful. And that creativity gives that stimulus. It's not the same. It's always different. And as we know, when we go to spirit world, we have infinite creativity because whatever we think just appears. And so, God love, what he thought was to walk the earth as the parent of all humankind and to share love together with us because we resemble God's love. Through our amazing scientific progress, we have begun to take after God's creative power, but not yet his love. In order to take after his love, we must practice love and lead a life of goodness, because the practice of love is goodness itself. For a life of goodness, man ought to make God, who is the subject of love, the center of his standard of goodness. Since God is both the center and the essence of all things, his love is unchanging and everlasting, even though his creation, the phenomenal world, is transitory. Therefore, when we take God as our standard of goodness, absolute value can be established, and then the eternal world of peace and happiness will be realized. So when we live a life of goodness, we are practicing love. And we know that the highest standard of the practice of love is to live for the sake of others. And the highest example of living for the sake of others is what Jesus said. There's no greater gift you can do than to lay down your life for your friend. So absolute love means absolute goodness and means absolute investment as well. Since the ideal world is the realization of God's purpose of creation and is the world that reflects God, people always seek to have a harmonious and peaceful life filled with God's love, and also seek to improve their environment by continually creating new things. Here, creation does not mean mere production. Rather, it includes all creative actions, such as originating new ideas, planning and improving, as well as producing. Since God is a unified being, human beings and the societal life must also be unified. This means people must love while they live a creative life and must live a creative life while they love. Such people are unified people, and the world they live in is the unified world. As repeatedly mentioned, people have come to reflect God's creativity through outstanding scientific progress, yet so far have not learned his love. And so this is something that we know that science is amazing, and we can't, for example, we're experiencing it now. We couldn't have this Tundok if we didn't have the internet and this particular technology. And if it fails, well, we get the result of not being able to be creative, or to be able to communicate the love of heaven through us. So, we need to reflect God's creativity as well as God's love, because love enables us to have creativity, because from the heart, we want to always give the best and to stimulate others and our children, and really look after the world we live in. So this world is still filled with sorrow, pain, and distress. Since harmony is the essential nature of love, harmony cannot exist where there is no love. Likewise, peace and happiness cannot exist where there is no harmony. Thus, humankind's present suffering continues because of the lack of love. Therefore, it is natural that both God and humanity have been longing for the ideal life and world that would resemble God. In other words, the ideal human being sought by God and people's original mind is a creative and good person practicing God-centered love. The ideal world is the world filled with creative actions to improve the environment, and is one filled with love between individuals and between nations. When this new type of person comes to live in this new unified world, all the sorrows, pains, and hostilities that have plagued humanity throughout history will be eliminated. So this is, really clear to see the connection between love and harmony and peace and happiness, and the desire of heaven and the desire of humanity. They all are the same. They all need to be centered on true love. The ideal human being sought by God and people's original mind is a creative and good person practicing God-centered love. And that's us. We need to exercise our creativity equally as much as practicing being a good person. By being creative, that it stimulates not only others but ourselves to find different ways on how to give to others, and at the same time giving and returning love back to God. So the ideal world is the world filled with creative actions to improve the environment, and is one filled with love between individuals and between nations. So human beings and the world were originally supposed to have been good, resembling God's nature. But to date, humanity and the world have not realized their original nature. Therefore, to save humankind from distress and chaos, we have to restore the original state of human beings and the world and manifest it in our actual life. For this, we have to find the absolute standard of goodness and practice the life of goodness. The standard of goodness is the center of love, which is God. The fact that all humankind is struggling so hard to escape the reality of pain and chaos and is longing for peace and freedom shows that people's original mind is seeking the standard of goodness and the center of love. And so when we look at it, the standard of goodness is to really embody God fully. And that means, true parents. That means the only begotten son and the only begotten daughter. It means the harmony between the couple that brings about the realization of God substantially, which is our heavenly parent. And so for us, to realize the standard of goodness, we need to truly harmonize between our spouses and our family and the community and society around us. To find the center of love and to establish the eternal world of happiness on earth is the universal desire of all humankind. Now I mention that the world both God and humanity desire is the unified world in which creativity and love are practiced. In this world, the desire of both God and people will be fulfilled. But to practice love, human beings must first find the center of love. To practice love is a norm must be set up, because a true life of love requires order. In a society where order has been destroyed, a life of love cannot be practiced in harmony. That is to say, a life of love needs order, and for order, norms are required. So this is really bringing in a different understanding of love and creativity, because you tend to think creativity and freely given love is just you do it, but it's not just as simply as that. There has to be a particular order. There's an order that is vertical, grandparents, parents, children. There's an order horizontally, between siblings, the eldest sibling to the youngest sibling. You can't take away the order of how life came into existence. And so we have to stay within that order and understand it. And then from that order, there comes this common good, or this norm is required. We call it common sense one way, but also at the same time, common sense can be corrupted because it's not staying within the original order. So we need to understand the center of love, which is God, and then understand the order that was put into motion, because that's how life and everything was created. So that we need the order just as much as we need the creativity and the practice of love. The norms are laws and principles that regulate people's behavior, and these are embodied in morality and ethics. Therefore, to live a good life centered on love, humanity must set up sound morals and ethics and must practice them. The morals and ethics that apply to the unified world must be clear and applicable to contemporary people. The reason past morals and ethics have been undermined lies partly in today's tendency toward materialism. It also comes from the fact that the standards of value no longer satisfy the present expectation of reasonable answers for reasonable answers. From this, the establishment of a new expression of morals and ethics based on the absolute standard of value becomes inevitable. So here, Father is really explaining to these people at the science conference that they really need to understand why we need morals and ethics and why they must be practiced, and why there is a drive towards materialism that actually undermines everything that people desire to get the world of goodness. Then how can this absolute standard of value be set up? It can come only from an elevated, unified system of thought that can unify all past philosophies and religious doctrines. Each of the philosophies and religions of the past had their own views on values and ethics with strong points that are still beneficial. However, people have, for the most part, left them behind because they could not harmonize these views with the coming age. Therefore, to establish the absolute standard of value, we have to absorb the strong points of the past views of value and develop new expressions that can meet the needs of contemporary society. Thus, because of the past views of value and ethics were based on the philosophies and religions of their respective ages, a new system, unification thought, has to appear by which we can unify the past philosophies and religions. And so I'm going to be wrapping up with this slide, even though there's more us because we have our breakout session to do. Here we can see that, at this point, unification thought was this, but now we have the Chonboomerang, which is the expression, the new expression, because this is still the current situation. We still need to find that absolute standard of value, to find that absolute standard of goodness, and to embody God's love substantially within ourselves so that we can fulfill God's image by forming the unified, harmonious couples that are able to express God's love towards our children, because we are the children of heaven, and heaven loves us and really waiting for the joy to be experienced by all people. So we can see that we need a new system, and this new system needs to always be developed and improved as the age changes. We have a new age, and now we need to really change our whole way of thinking, because we are now in Chongyalguk, and the gates of heaven have opened, and we need to really see examples of true love, which our true mother is giving us, and by connecting with our true mother, our Holy Mother Han, as we understand more deeply the essence of our Heavenly Mother, because of our Holy Mother Han coming and then understanding this new truth, which is the old truth more deeply applied and more deeply understood. So thus, because the past views of value and ethics are based on the philosophies and religions of their respective ages, a new system has to appear by which we can unify the past philosophies and religions, and in essence unify the body of God and all humanity. So that I'll end with this particular slide, and we can in our respective rooms, we have breakout rooms that are 3 rooms, and you'll be automatically assigned, and I hope you can discuss those points, and so I'll just create the rooms now, and please join. So welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone had an opportunity to share. It's time now for us to offer our unison prayer, and I'll just bring that up now. Pray together. Jew, Jew, Jew. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending, and I hope you have a great day and see you all again tomorrow. Let's hope the internet's better. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you.